Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to be going over distributive property. This is just a review lesson, but make sure you get these notes down and refreshing on how to distribute something. Let's go over kind of the definition or the rule of what distributive property is, and then we can look at some examples. So distributive property is that this property states that the multiplication can be multiplication can be distributed to terms within parentheses. To distribute means to multiply throughout. That means you're going to, whoops, sorry about that. Means that you are going to multiply throughout. You're going to keep using multiplication. That's what distributive property is. It's using multiplication. So we're going to look at two examples right now to kind of go over how distributive property works. Our first example is going to be 3 parentheses, so that means multiplied by 2 plus 4. Now, we have two terms in this problem. We have the 2 and the 4. Those are both terms because they're separated by the addition sign. So we know that we need to multiply throughout. That means we need to distribute the 3. So that's going to be our very first step. Now remember, when I say to distribute, I mean to multiply throughout. So I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to distribute it to each term within the parentheses. So again, distributing means to multiply. So we're going to write this out just so we have one extra step. So when I distribute, this is essentially what I'm doing. I'm multiplying 3 and 2, and then I'm adding 3 times 4. Now this is an extra step, and some of you guys may not need it, but it is a good visual for you to remember. So we distributed the 3, and now our second step is going to be evaluate. So when I evaluate, I just get the product of these two numbers. That would be 6 plus 3 times 4, which is 12. Now when I do that, I evaluate it one more step, and that would give me the answer of 14. So that's how I would do it. Now, a lot of you guys might think, wow, I don't need that red step there. This is kind of what it would look like, or this is what it would look like if you didn't take that step. So if I was given, so this is just extra right here. This is just an extra little bonus. If I had 3, 2, plus 4, just like I had, and I distributed the 3, I would have 6 plus 12, just like I had here, and I would still come to the same conclusion of 18. So that's a way to do it without this step, but like I said, it's great to have that visual. It's great to know what's going on. So that's distributive property. That's one example. Let's go over 2 more and use some tiles to do one of them. So let's go to our next example. All right, we're going to look at this example, and it has an extra step, so we're really going to pay attention to it. Remember, when you distribute, that means you multiply a term when it's up against parentheses. So when we do this problem, we really got to watch ourselves. You got to follow your order of operations. So we're going to look at the parentheses first, and we're going to distribute that 4 first. It's the first thing that we're going to do. We're going to distribute the 4. We're not going to worry about that 2. A lot of you guys will want to add these 2 together first, but you do not do that. This is one term right now, so you have to treat it as one term until you separate it using distributive property. So watch yourself on that one. So we're distributing the 4, and that's going to look like 2 plus a negative 8 plus 24. Now, if some of you are wondering kind of how I got that, I distributed, that was that shortcut or that extra step, and that would be 4 times a negative 2 plus 4 times 6. That's basically what I did. I just didn't take that step, and that's what I would get. So this is where we're going to kind of start from right here. So we're going to keep following that. And now we're going to evaluate. So now I can move left to right and just treat this like a regular expression. I'm going to evaluate these 2 first. 2 plus a negative 8 would give me negative 6 plus 24. I would now evaluate that, and that would give me the value of 18. Notice, again, that my steps are the same as the last problem. Please watch yourselves that you do not get caught in this trap. Always take care of the number outside of the parentheses first, and then continue on to evaluate. Now we're going to go to our last example, which has to do with our algebra tiles. So we're still using these algebra tiles, and we're going to kind of look at these with the distributive property now. Our example is 4 times the sum of x plus 3. Now, we know, actually, let me rewrite that. Okay, that looks a little better. So we have 4 times the sum of x plus 3. And let's look at this in algebra, in a tile pattern, just in the algebra tiles, and it's going to help understand it a little better. So again, what's the very first thing that we do? We distribute the 4, and I evaluate. That means I'm going to have 4 times x plus 4 times 3. Now that's the distributing part. And we're looking at it, we're like, okay, what do we got here? Now, I want you guys to evaluate it one step. And that gives us 4x, and then we have our 12. And look at these tiles, you guys. Look at this compared to that. It's saying the same thing, it's just offering a visual. These are our 4x's right here. That's that 4x. And look, we had 4 times 3. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups of 3. 4 groups of 3. And that gives us 12. If you counted up all those little squares, they would equal 12. So it's just another visual way to see how you would use this with algebra tiles. And I will tell you guys, this will help immensely when you're working on equations. So just another way to look at it, another example for you guys to have. Please write down that picture of the algebra tiles so you can reference it later. That's all the notes for tonight. Thanks for listening, and good luck with the rest of your homework.